Alright, let's see. Let's see. What does it say? Oh, there we go. There we go. Here's what we'll do. Oh, shit.
You are not. I love you. We are lost. We are. And this you don't. Each have your fence. Take off the roasting. Please, men don't. It's never. These are the five. These are the figures that. Let God. Let God restore.
Alright, here we go. Okay, why is it doing that? Why is it doing that? Please don't do that. Please work. Ask for advice. Let's see. Alright, welcome in everyone. We're diving into self-growth, dating, relationships, spirituality. You guys can feel free to throw any questions down below, and we're here to help you guys out. We're here to help you grow, here to help you expand in your life. I've helped hundreds of men and women in my coaching practice transform their lives, so we're here to help you guys out too. I come on here 7 days a week giving advice. So any questions you guys have in your life, you need some clarity with, trying to dive into, are you an astrologer? No, I haven't done much research on astrology. Everyone always tries to guess my sign and then takes 12 times and gets it wrong. Appreciate you for liking and subscribing. Welcome in everybody. We're diving into self-growth, dating, relationships, spirituality. You can ask for advice down below. I've been life coaching for quite a few years at this point, so welcome in everybody. Looking forward to helping you guys out and seeing what questions you have today. And we'll dive in. So welcome in everybody. Welcome in indeed. Welcome in. Who's got some initial questions? Let's help you guys out. Let's dive in. Main card really made me sad. Yeah, it lasted a total of 3 seconds. There was no fight. There was no fight in the UFC match. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in, everybody. Looking forward to helping you guys out. Self-growth, dating, relationships, spirituality. You can throw some questions down below. We'll give you guys some advice, help you out, help you transform in your life. I could have went out there and put out a better show. Yeah, I agree with that. Probably would have lasted like 15 more seconds. Yeah. Welcome in, everybody. Who's got some questions? Dude, my shirt just isn't structured in a way where the chain can work. Welcome in, everybody. What's going on, Mina? Welcome in, everyone. How is going back into the market while actively healing and being self-conscious of the mental CPTSD? When you say back into the market, I'm going to think that you're saying relationship, like dating market. Okay, so here's the thing. I think life is always an active healing process. Like, you never, I mean, certain things you 100% heal from. Other things you get like 95% of the way, and then like, that's what it is. So if you're actively healing, now, and you're saying you're self-conscious of your mental state. So that's okay because everybody has insecurities. The question is, how much is this affecting you? If you're thinking about these thoughts like day in, day out, 8+ hours a day, it might not be good to go into the dating market, because if you can't handle your own mental stress and you're in a relationship, you're going to have to handle theirs too. So if you can't even handle your own, it's not going to work. So you have to have an honest conversation with yourself about that. But if you're still healing and still working on yourself, welcome to life. That's what we're always doing. So it might be that you're in a good place. Sawyers, feel free to shoot me a follow. We could definitely dive into in the DMs deeper, and you can also throw some more stuff down below here. Do you have a lot of experience with relationships? Personally, yes, and professionally, yes. So you can feel free to throw some questions down below. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Who's got some questions? Throw them down below. Maxwell Sawyer, thanks for the follow. Welcome in, everyone. Self-growth, dating, relationships, spirituality. You can throw some questions down below. We'll give you advice. I'll help you guys out. Welcome in, everybody. Appreciate the likes, guys. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Let's get some more questions in here. Let's get some more questions. Welcome in, Jerry. Thanks for the rose. Appreciate you. Let's get some more questions down below here. Looking forward to helping you guys out. Self-growth, dating, relationships, spirituality. Any questions, you can throw them down below. We'll help you guys out. I've helped hundreds of men and women in my coaching practice transform their lives, so we're here to help you guys out too. If we are free to dream, why do we dream of being free? Because freedom is defined differently for everybody. For some people, freedom is a certain amount of money. It's a lifestyle. It's a person. It's a place. So you can dream about that in your mind, but if it's not reflective of reality, you will then still dream in your mind about being free in physical reality. And you have to work towards that, whatever that means for you. For some people, it's complicated. For some people, it's very simple. You got to see what it is for you. That's the only thing that matters here, Mark. So see where that's in alignment for you. Sas said I broke up with him. Why'd you guys break up? Problem with academics, can't finish on time. Yeah, because you're probably procrastinating. Have you tried time blocking and putting like a time in your calendar of when you're going to do it and when you're not? Childhood sweetheart of 5 years. Left me last year and I think about her every minute. What can I do? Childhood sweet. So is this someone you've dated? Or just somebody you kind of fantasized about being romantic with? How do I stop going back to nostalgia even in good times? Acknowledge your thoughts. Don't judge them. You're allowed to feel the nostalgia. Just make sure you're living your life. A lot of our overthinking comes from you're sitting in your mind, which again, sometimes you're going to sit in your mind. I'm not sitting here and saying I'm immune to that in any way, shape, or form. But sometimes you suffer more in imagination than reality, and it's caused by you. And you're spending every negative thought that you have then leads to another negative thought. Creates this chain, and it kind of keeps expanding. Same thing goes for positive thoughts. So if you can also take a few deep breaths and just acknowledge that you're in this moment right now and appreciate that, you ground yourself back here and realize what you're experiencing right now is really the only thing that exists. It's the only thing that's real. Don't you want to experience that? So, period, feel free to shoot me a follow. Would love to see you back in here. He always puts songs on for me. What does that mean? He didn't talk to me. I don't know what that means. Are you dating somebody or... Yes, we knew each other from age 4, got together at 14, left me at 20. Now I'm 21. Okay. Well, I mean, Aaron, why'd you guys separate? Give me clarity on that. I might be able to help you out. Those of you guys that are throwing your question down multiple times, don't do that. Throw it down once. I'll get to you. We fight because we're long distance, and he's kind of a mama's boy. Yeah, how long distance are we talking? Are we talking 6 countries away? Are we talking 1 state away? 2 hours? going on, Viri? I suffered a blank episode, had blank at her door almost every day. Oh, wow. I accused her of blank and having blank. Well, yeah, that would definitely be too much for somebody who you're in a relationship with. How are you doing now mentally? And has that ever happened before? And why do you think what caused it? How do you fix a mindset that you always need to prove something to belong? Sorry if it's corny. Not corny at all. This is something very common that people deal with. Yeah, your self-worth is currently attached to the things that you do for people, which we all enjoy making other people happy and caring about them and providing for them and, so on and so forth. It's innate. But to prove something to somebody, to show that you belong, means that you don't belong, and even if you try to prove it, you still don't belong. If people aren't accepting you as you are now, sure, they could accept you at a point in the future, but you can't bet on that. And trying to prove yourself to people doesn't work. They will see you as they want to see you, not always as you are. If you've given them every opportunity to see who you are naturally, you let it go. You see if something natural comes of it. If not, you can't force it. So, Rem, feel free to shoot me a follow. Love to see you back in here. It's a good place to start with that. Went to the mass, it was amazing. Awesome. They said, how much for coaching? Could be $25 a month if you're in my group coaching programs. Could be $100 a month. Could be a couple $100s a month. The coaching I do is very expansive, very wide. There's things that are very inexpensive, and there's things that are expensive. Depends on what we're doing. I'm a very energetic person, but I feel I'm directing it into the wrong things. Who do I become? Who do I become? Well, who are you now? And what about who you are now can you just utilize to do more of? And what parts of you that exist now are you like, oh, this might need to change? So where do you feel like that energy needs to go? How do I build the confidence to approach a girl? You build the confidence by doing it. You're going to feel afraid. You're going to feel anxiety. That's okay. You're going to do it anyway. But first you need to develop a belief that you are capable and that women would even find you attractive. If you don't have that, well, you're never going to go up to them. So that confidence is built from what are the stories you tell yourself? What do you believe about yourself? How to say no to people without making them unhappy. You don't control somebody else's happiness or unhappiness. You just control what your truth is at this moment in time. If you give someone an answer and they don't like it, okay, they're going to deal with the emotions of that, and they're going to deal with that. And if it goes the way that they want it to, then they're also going to deal with that in just a more positive way. It's your job to pursue truth in your life. What is the best thing for me? And maybe the people around me. And you make decisions based on that. And that truth that exists now may be a different truth in a month from now. You don't know. That's why you keep living. You figure it out as you go. What should I do if she went away from me even because without telling me anything? Okay, are you in a relationship? Is there a purpose? Or do you live just to make meaning in your life? Well, there's biological purposes to reproduce, to start a family. Actually, just reproducing, starting a family, you don't have to do. But yeah, you create your own meaning. What do you want to build in this life? What do you want to create? What do you want to experience? My girl left me today with another guy. Any advice to keep me moving? Dustin, this has nothing to do with you and everything to do with her disconnection from herself. If a woman will leave you instantly and she's instantly with somebody else, she's not connected to herself. She's running away from something. What that something is, I have no idea what it is, and it's not up to you to decide or get closure on what that thing is, because you probably won't figure it out, and that's okay. What is important to recognize is that this girl was not right for you. That's why it played out like this. Now it's your job to get more connected to yourself. You feel like you're the jester of the group. Do they make you feel that way, or do you make yourself feel that way? Because if you're just joking around all the time, energetic all the time, it might be you being the one who's creating that dynamic. You only had one date in February? Yeah, it doesn't sound like a very connective relationship. You're 3 hours away, which is a good amount away, but you've only had one date? I don't know if you guys are a priority to each other. Having problems with procrastination. All right, Major. So, a lot of times procrastination occurs because you don't feel that doing that task will lead to a result that actually feels worth it for you. So, you got to find a way to make it fun. Can you listen to a podcast while you're doing the work? Can you listen to some calming music? Can you multitask? I mean, I'm not a huge fan of multitasking, but I do it sometimes. Are you capable of that? Are you putting this stuff in your calendar and actually sticking to it? Or are you trusting yourself? Are you making promises to yourself and keeping them? These are the places to reflect to start. So, Major, feel free to shoot me a follow. I would love to dive into it deeper. Guys, those of you guys that are throwing your question down multiple times, don't do that. Just throw it down once. I'll get to you. Or I'll skip over it if it's not a serious question. But you guys throwing your question down 15 times, there's a lot of people asking questions. It's disrespectful. Throw it down once. I'm not going to answer it if you throw it down 10 times, like VM. Just, you commented like 15 times. Come on. Feel like there's a benefit to being blank because then at least you're something. No, what's the benefit is for you to be you and show up authentically. That's the benefits. And if people accept you, great. If they don't, then they don't. And you go find other people. How do I find hope to not blank? I can't talk about that topic, but Ira, like, you're worth it. Maybe no one's told you that. Maybe you haven't soaked into it. Maybe you haven't analyzed what you believe about life yet. Maybe you've been dealt some difficult hands that you don't know how to work through. That's valid. But you just want pain to go away. That's it. And there's ways to do that. So, feel free to shoot me a follow. Would love to dive into it with you. What should I do if I keep overthinking to the point where I don't know what I'm actually recalling is true? Very good question. Yeah, I have that sometimes when I'm like, sometimes I can't, but for a few moments I don't decipher what was actually my dream at night and what was reality. Especially for like things that you're really emotionally attached to. So ER, are you spending, like, you're overthinking? Are you doing it when you're like, start journaling. That's going to be a really good way to put your thoughts on paper and get yourself grounded in reality. Start journaling. That's the first place for you. I know, very simple, but that's the first start. How to restart career. Corey, it's hard for me to say how to restart career and to answer that without knowing what career you're in currently, where you're trying to go, what industry. Like, it depends on like where you're at now. If a girlfriend of a friend is cheating on him with his father and is pregnant, how does he handle? You gotta simplify that. If a girlfriend of a friend is cheating on him with his, how does he what do you mean he handle? Is this you? I make myself feel that way. It's like I'm performing for them. I can't lie. Exactly. So you need to stop performing. You need to discover who you actually are. And by the way, it's probably not going to take you that long to do it, because who you are is already who you are. You're just not getting space for it. How to start a new career and thrive in that field. Develop the skills necessary. Give that massive amount of time, effort, energy, and attention to it. Mandy, appreciate the gift. You also, yeah, you gotta get really clear, Corey, on like what it is, and feel free to shoot me a follow and a DM about it. If you guys want to double tap the screen, get some likes in here, that's perfect. Appreciate it, Henry. What if the only way to stop feeling anything is to... the rest of your comment didn't go through, but I'm going to assume I know what you said. It's not the only way. How are you doing? Mandy, I could be better. Not optimal news from the situation, but still not conclusive, so taking life as it comes, I guess. How do I get rid of the hope that my ex will come back despite her telling me to let go? We have to look at reality. If she explicitly said, let go, this isn't working, I don't want you. Sit with that. It's very painful, but sit with it. Because it'll show you reality and the truth, rather than the stories your mind creates around it. If she didn't say that, then that'd be a different place. How do I discover who I am? I know I'm really energetic. So yeah, you're energetic. That's what you already know. What are you energetic about? What do you care about? What are you passionate? What are you energetic about that you're passionate about? And what are you energetic about just because you kind of force yourself to be? That's the first distinction that you're going to make with yourself to figure this out. It's alright, Mandy. This is life. playing rugby for 8 years. How could I improve my stamina? Do you do exercise outside of playing the sport itself? Do you run? Do you do cardio? The acupuncture on Friday helped me so much. Amazing. What advice do you think everyone should hear? Everything will happen in divine timing, usually when you least expect it to happen. How do you handle terrible anxiety? What are you anxious about? Let me know what you're anxious about. That might help me give you a clearer answer. Realize with the third eye, and I know I am the creator of everything, and in my life, I'm the captain. You are the captain, and you also have control over nothing all at the same time, the duality of life. You control a lot, and there's a lot that you don't control. There's an acceptance of that. Going to college alone, very scared. Okay, well, the first week or two, you gotta go and talk to as many people as possible, make those connections. What if the only way to not feel bad is to stop feeling anything? Well, that's not the reality. That's just a story you tell yourself. Don't make permanent decisions based on temporary feelings. That's for everybody. How to handle social anxiety. You talk to people anyway, just smaller. Say, hey, how are you doing today? Don't try to have a full-blown conversation. You realize people are not scary. You're usually socially anxious because people have hurt you in the past, or you just never really started to talk to people that you don't know. He came back around and said he wasn't interacting with those women, but he lied, of course. Of course. It's classic. Okay, bye, thanks, okay. Alright. Proper English. Some proper English. Welcome in, everybody. How to deal with loneliness. Very good question. Well, people like to say if you have yourself, you're never truly alone. I think that's true, and it's also not, because you can't live your life completely alone forever. Temporarily, maybe you're in a season of life where you're spending most of your time by yourself, fair. Getting connected to your passions, what you're building in your life, is a really good place to start. If you don't have anything that you connect to that you find purposeful, you'll feel very isolated. Now, that still doesn't substitute for not feeling connected to people. You need to feel connected to people. And again, might be in a season of your life where you don't have those people. So what can you do to change it? Do you have to go out more? Start more conversations? When you're at the library studying, just spark up a conversation? Like, what is it for you? Do you know what blank feels like? No, I've not experienced that personally. Are you a full-time life coach, brother? I am, brother. Being alone is the worst. Yeah, it's interesting. Does joining a frat help with loneliness? It could for you. I mean, a lot of my friends who joined fraternities ended up like bailing out or not really enjoying it as much as they thought they would because people are kind of in their own world, and a lot of people are doing it for status and stuff like that. But you could still find people. But the cure to loneliness is not more people. It's people that you feel connected to. That might be 2 people. For other people, it might be 10. But if you're surrounded by 30 people that you don't actually feel like see you for who you are, you'll never feel connected. It'll always be one foot in, 1 foot out. Have you ever had a goal in life and never achieved it? Probably. But most of the goals I set out, I make sure I achieve. But yeah, I've probably had things that I haven't achieved before, sure. How can I improve my speaking? Slow down. Stop trying to talk so fast. I talk fast now because I've spent a lot of time slowing down and learning how to do it. Also, improve your vocabulary. I know you remember when you went to school and they said, oh, we're learning 10 new vocabulary words this week. Do that on your own time, but with words that you're actually going to use. And incorporate that into your speaking over the next few weeks. And you'll notice how it starts to flow and become more congruent. You kind of expand your horizons a little bit more of how you can communicate with people. But awkward silence is only awkward if you make it awkward. Silence is not inherently awkward. It's just silence. You take a second or two to regroup your thoughts. Nothing wrong with that at all. Something to keep in mind. Feeling lonely while being surrounded with people is the worst feeling. I very much agree. There's a more isolating feeling when you're surrounded by people and you feel alone versus when you're just by yourself. Because when you're by yourself, it's like, oh yeah, of course I'm alone. Like, of course I feel lonely. You're by yourself. But when you're surrounded by people that like you're supposed to feel connected to, but you don't, That's one of the most isolating experiences on Earth, because they're just like, all right, if I don't feel connected here, where do I feel connected? It's just that those might not be the right people. Or maybe you got some mental walls up. A lot of possibilities. So, next move, feel free to shoot me a follow. Would love to see you back in here. So, good question. 2 minutes into this live, I've already learned something. I'm glad to hear. I try my best to provide people as much value as possible in the shortest amount of period of time. Feel free to, MJ, feel free to shoot me a follow if you learned something so far. We'd love to see you back in here. We do this 7 days a week. Christina, thanks for the follow. Self-growth, dating, relationships, spirituality. Throw some questions down below. How to deal with BPD. Okay, so I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. I don't deal with diagnoses in my coaching practice. So from a personal standpoint of just my own thoughts, opinions, dealing with BPD, you got to acknowledge what are like the most common emotions that are coming up for you, and do you currently have any sort of system or awareness in place of allowing yourself to experience those emotions without it taking hold of you to the full extent possible. You go live daily for how many hours? Usually at least an hour, but some days if I have time it's like 3 hours, but on average it's like 45 minutes to an hour. What time is it for you? That's 3 p.m. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. How can I improve public speaking? Same answer I gave of how to become a better speaker. Becoming a better speaker and public speaker is the same thing. Don't be afraid to pause. Don't be afraid to slow down. That's it. And make sure you know what you're talking about. That's definitely an important part too. Why would I go to you for all of this stuff? You barely look 25. Great question, Taylor. Well, you have 1992 in your profile, so I'm going to assume that's when you were born. I have many clients that are your age and even older, and they make a massive amount of transformation in my coaching practice. Even though I am not somebody who's lived for 70 years yet and have all the answers to life, I've been studying this stuff for 7+ years of my life. I was diagnosed with depression, was able to completely overcome it myself. I've been obsessed with philosophy, psychology, spirituality, self-growth, dating, relationships for the last 8 years of my life. So you would come to me and ask me questions if you feel like you would want to, and if my answers resonate with you. If you look at me, like Taylor, if you look at me and say, you look too young, I don't want to ask you for advice, fair. My job is not to convince you. My job is to show up here, and who receives it, and who doesn't is fine. No bad blood. You're your own person with your own opinions, and I respect that. So that's my answer. All right, let's see. How can I be perceived more friendly? You can't control how people perceive you. You control how you act. If you are a friendly person, some people will interpret you as being friendly, and some people will create their own stories about who you are. It's your job to be who you desire to be. And if people can see that within you, great. And if they can't, they just might not be the right people for you. How can I stop being obsessed or addicted to a random person for years? Oh, that's really extreme. You're living in your head and you're living in fantasy land, not reality. Start to approach people in reality and have conversations. You need to ground yourself there. You're obsessing because you're isolating yourself. Stop doing that. Welcome, everybody. Just cut off a friend group of 8 years after realizing they were walking red flags. Alright. How to stop overthinking. I'm always imagining or overthinking things like I always imagine the negative outcomes. Yeah, I mean, look, Yina, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correctly, you always overthinking about the negative outcomes. Have you ever tried overthinking about the positive outcomes? Because once you have one negative thought, it leads to another one. Have you ever intentionally said, what if it works out in my favor? What if this relationship goes exceptionally well? What if I figure this out? What if I gain clarity here? What if I achieve my dream life? What if I start a family? Like, what if you start overthinking about all the positive things? Because then you'll start to create actionable steps of how you can actually start to create them in your life, rather than the negative ones where you just sit in your head, feel bad about yourself, and probably don't do anything about it. So that's a good place to start. Start to intentionally plant those in there. So Yina, feel free to shoot me a follow. I'll love to see you back in here. Yeah, it is hard. It's not easy, but it's simple. You're able to do it. Always been told I have an angry rest face. Once someone told me I looked bored to speak to. How many times have you received these comments? Very often, or just from a few people? Do you do one-on-one coaching? I do. MightyBrad.com. You can book a free session there. You could also shoot me a DM. Like, I'm always worried what they'll think of me. Who will think of you? When the sudden fear comes, how do I get rid of it and continue doing whatever I'm doing back to normal? Well, when the sudden fear comes, how do I get rid of it? Get rid of what? The fear? What are you afraid of? Because the fear that's coming up, you may need to hold space for. You may need to feel the emotion. Other times, you just gotta kind of disconnect from it, get back to what you're doing. But what is the fear around? Hill said it's free. The intro, I always do 100% free intro coaching sessions. So it's 30 minutes, you and me. I'm not pitching you anything. I'm just helping you out. And yeah, it's completely free. My coaching long term has, of course, it's a paid service. But yeah, the intro session is always free. Few people, but I'm sure everyone thinks that because I don't have many friends. How old are you? They think I'm smart, but I'm not. Smart in what capacity? Because what does smart mean? What does intelligence mean? Self-aware? Having more knowledge? It's different for everybody. I struggle to stay consistent in my work and my goals. Well, what are your goals and what's your work, and do you actually feel connected to your work and your goals? If you don't feel connected to it at all, the motivation won't be there. And sometimes you gotta still do tasks in the thing that you enjoy that you don't particularly enjoy. You gotta set time aside in your calendar to get it done. And make it fun. Find a way to make it fun. What should I do when someone I know ghosts me, and then when I do the same thing, I didn't get the rest of the comment. They start sending messages like, is everything okay? You guys are playing games with each other, and I'm gonna guess you're under 18 years old. If you're any older than that, this is a severe problem. So here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna call them. You're gonna have a serious conversation with them. And if they don't want to do that, well, there's nothing else for you to do. Are you Russian? I am. Don't speak it, though. I'm the leader for our thesis paper, and we failed our first defense, but we have our last chance. Okay. So how are you going to make this one different? How is this one going to be worthwhile? Just graduated from university. I don't know how to find my passion. Good question, Lucky. What did you study in university, and the things that you studied, did you enjoy any of it, or did you just kind of float through it? Because sometimes you become passionate about things by, you just have a gravitation towards it, and sometimes you have to try new things and put yourself in a position and do it to develop the passion for it. I wasn't passionate about drums and music before I started playing. It was only after I started playing. I needed to experiment with it. So, Lucky, feel free to shoot me a follow. And if you want, we could dive into the DMs of, where you're specifically at. But we could also keep diving into it here. Let's see. What if the people you isolate from is family? Well, the question is, are you isolating from your family because you absolutely need to? Or because you're feeling stuck? Or maybe one person in particular doesn't want to have a certain type of conversation? What's the intentionality behind this? If we failed, they'll think less of me. Do you understand? Yeah, I understand. I don't think it's that they'll think less of you, but what if failure isn't an option? What if you're going to create this in the best possible way that you do pass? You're 17. Okay, well, yeah, you got to get out there and start meeting more people. I want to start it, but also ask yourself, do I feel like I'm connected to myself? Do I feel connected, or do I feel stuck? You want to start a YouTube channel, but you keep posting and don't get the views. Okay, what's your goal with the channel? How do I get a girl I really like? I knew her in middle school, but different high schools. I mean, if you have her phone number or social media, I'd reach out on there if you don't, go to the same place. How do I unspoil myself? Have things that you actually connect to and work hard at achieving them. Because the only person that's going to achieve them is you. You don't get it handed out to you. But then you actually feel connected to doing what you're doing. Should I drop out of school and play video games all day? Sounds like a pretty bad idea. I have a lot of social anxiety. Okay. Question is why? Have people treated you badly in the past, or have you just not gotten comfortable with talking to people? People aren't as scary as you think that they are. They're really not. You have to show yourself that through reality and talking to people. It's hard to do it when you're not. What if she doesn't like me? I barely talk to her. If she doesn't like you, then you stop talking to her and you move on with your life. That's it. You can sit in your mind, is this girl going to like me, and spend 2 months thinking about that, or you could take action, do everything you can to control the situation. If it doesn't go your way, cool, you weren't in control of it. Now you live your life in a different way. That's it. Take more action. If you want something, go and get it. And if that thing that you want, not thing, happens to be a person, well, you're not the only deciding factor in this decision. And you have to respect whatever they believe, or whatever, wherever their heart is at, for example. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, Devanch, feel free to shoot me a follow. We'll have to dive into this deeper with you. If you keep thinking that you'll fail, you won't be able to do it or try anything. Absolutely, yeah. If you keep creating more stuff in your mind, it'll start to reflect in the physical reality. That could be positive, negative, neutral, all of it at the same time. We think it's very complex, but we're creating a lot of it. Appreciate the follows, guys. What's my favorite hobby? Definitely drumming. Definitely drumming is my favorite hobby. So that's probably the only hobby I really have. I work the rest of the time. How to overcome borderline personality disorder. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't deal with diagnosis. I have clients with diagnoses, but I don't interact directly with them. So I couldn't be able to sit here and say how you overcome borderline personality disorder. What was the journey of getting to where you are today? Oh, was the journey of getting to where you are today tough? Oh my God. Keandri, was the journey of me getting to where I am today tough? It was the most challenging thing I've ever done. But at the same time, it's the only thing I've ever done. I'm living life for the first time, like everybody else. But yeah, it was tough. Oh my God, so much trial, so much error, so much failure, so much pain, so much suffering. But within that, there was so much beauty and transformation and love, just as there was grief and feeling stuck and isolated and lost and not knowing what I was going to do or when I was going to do it or if it's going to work out. All of it at the same time. And I'm about to fucking bawl my eyes out right as I'm saying this right now. Absolutely, it was tough. It's still tough. But it's beautiful at the same time. And that you can't forget about. Because all the pain leads to the beauty. Everything, all the love you're looking for is on the other side of the pain that you have not yet processed. It is on the other side of your fear. How do I change things about myself without feeling fake? A very good question. You change things about yourself without feeling fake because you actually want to change them because that's authentic to you. If you're trying to change yourself to please somebody else, that's not going to work. People always know. You have to authentically do it for you. And if they see that, well, maybe they see it. Maybe you show it to them and they don't see it. But you can't force that. So you change things without... You won't feel fake if it's actually for you. It happens to just improve your relationships too. I'm a very need a routine kind of person. I suffer a lot because of that. Okay. Well, are you able to... Thea, do you have a consistent routine in place? Or are you kind of in that middle ground where you don't know what the routine would even be? Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. If you were to sum up everything you've done to get to where you are today, what was the key to get there? A lot of gratitude. Seeing that I knew certain answers to particular questions when I thought I didn't. And the main thing, I think, is taking action. Like, the last few years of my life have just been, like, radical action. If I want to do something, do it. If I don't want to do it, don't do it. But if I want to do it, let's not think about it for a month. Let's just do it. See what happens. See how it plays out. like radical action, and starting before you're ready is the best possible thing you can do in your life, because you will never be ready. Nobody's, I mean, I don't want to say that you might be ready for certain things. Kays, appreciate the gift. You might be ready for certain things at certain points, but you can't force that. But you can invite it and create more space for it. What I want to quit. What do you want to quit? Started feeling distant towards marriage. Why? You started feeling distant towards your marital partner or the idea of marriage. It could be because marriage requires a lifelong commitment and you're afraid of commitment. Maybe you don't like the idea of the government being involved in your marriage. That was a big reason as to why I was questioning it for a long time. Any tips on building confidence? You build confidence through doing things, not thinking about them. So if you want to go to the gym and you're like, how do I build the confidence to go to the gym? You go to the gym. How do I build the confidence to talk to a girl? You talk to more women. Like, it's the thing that you're avoiding that you keep trying to come up with any other way possible. How do I build the confidence? You just have to do the thing. Just don't try and do all of it at once. Start small. Tried to run fast, but chained to the past where the memories always last. Well, that rhymed. How do I get out of that? You feel like you're chained to the past. Well, what new memories can you start to create? What new visions that are positive can you start to create? That's something that you can start to focus on. I guess it's the idea about commitment. Yeah, commitment is scary. It's massive. But maybe it's also because you haven't found someone that's worth committing to yet. Like, I'll give you a perfect example, Nails. The last relationship, for my whole life, not my whole life, but for the last, let's say, 5-6 years of my life, I was always like, I'm not getting married. I want to be with someone long term, but I'm not getting married. And then I met my last relationship partner. I was with her for 1.5 years. And probably a week before we broke up, while we were like talking about it, I said to her, one thing that you changed my mind on. She didn't explain it to me. She didn't convince me of it. It just happened. One of those things was marriage. That relationship was so perfect, so amazing, so connective. I love her so much that I want to spend the rest of my life with her. Sign the contract, sign me up, right? I've never felt that way. I never felt that way about somebody before. And the only way I was able to change my mind on that was if I lived my life and I was with her. So, I used to have commitment issues. Now I don't. Because I know everything else that comes with it. And there's an innate desire now because it comes with maturity. Do you think anyone deserves to know the truth about you? Like the good and the bad parts of your past? Answer for the most part is yes. I don't think like we were saying, everyone deserves to know the truth about you. Well, if they don't know the truth about you, then what do they know about you? Lies? Things that are half-truths? There's no foundation for any relationship there. So yeah, the good and the bad about your past, because it allows them to see your patterns and also like where you've grown. I'll give you another example about my last relationship. There was a previous, like a few relationships ago, like I was the guy where it's like, I want to be with multiple girls at once. I don't want to commit to you. Like, we'll just spend time together and I'll care about you, but there'll be other people. And like my last relationship partner, like she was like that was you? Like you? And I'm like, yeah. Like, not anymore. There's no desire for that anymore. It doesn't exist, but at one point it did. And I needed to go through that. But people knowing that, I think, is good, because whether it's good or bad, they get to see who you actually are. And that's all anyone's ever looking at. That's all anyone really wants, to be honest. All you want is to be loved and understood for who you are. Not for who you've been, but for who you are. But where you've been has made it apparent and created the journey to where you are now. And whether you perceive that as positive or negative, it was positive, because it's led you to where you are now. I was asking how I get out of that. Being chained to I was like, create new memories, create things that you're connected to. Do you think 28 years old is too old to be married? Too old to be... No, I mean, some people get married at 40. I don't want to get married at 40. But, no, if that's where you're at, that's where you're at. That was clear and you explained it great, thank you. I'm glad it resonates. Why did I only get number 3? What does that mean? Do you think there's no age that's right or wrong? At 18 or 19, what's the best and some of the first things to do to find out who you are? Experiment with trying as many new experiences and things as possible. Not in like a hedonistic, pleasurable way, but just like, hey, I'm interested in this, I want to explore it. Topics, concepts, jobs, careers, industries, university, businesses, family dynamics, dating, values, like create space for whatever feels most priority for you there. How do I stop having panic attacks? Well, where do you feel like they stem from? No more? Thanks for the gift. What to do if I'm not allowed to show any emotions and it gets to too much aggression and that turns into depression? Good question. Is there a way for you to experience some level of emotion without it getting to that point? What to do if I'm left out with a group of friends or my family? Well, you could have a conversation with somebody about it. No shot. BBB, I haven't seen you in here in like 4 months. How have you been? It's been so long. I missed you. For anyone that doesn't know, BB is like, he was like we have, of course, a lot of people that do troll comments. BB was like the original, when I first started lives, like 8 months ago, BB was like the original troll commenter. This guy's a legend, or maybe a girl, I don't know if you're a guy or a girl, but welcome back. I haven't seen you in so long. I know people are usually like, oh, like, he's hating, like, nah, he's chill. I like the banter. What would you advise to a guy who set a goal to get a perfect score on the SAT? Know the material as best as you possibly can. Spend an exceptional amount of time diving into it. I don't understand your question. So I'll try. Essentially, the question is it possible for you to experience your emotions without it leading to severe aggression or depression? Are you able to experience it and process it so that it doesn't get to that point, but you can still experience the emotion itself? Welcome, everybody. How to avoid a shy person? I don't. You gotta rephrase that. I don't know what that means. Yes, but I avoid them. Yeah, so you got to start to create some more space for it. Take out a journal, put it in front of you, go for a walk and feel your emotions. You don't got to do it isolated in your room. I went to, a month ago, I went to a busy park. It was a Sunday. Families, people taking graduation pictures. I was sitting there on the bench, bawling my eyes out. Sitting there with my head down, tears. I had a puddle of tears on the floor in front of me. People all around. I did it in a beautiful place. It was a nice park. It was a nice day. Didn't feel like a nice day, though. Probably one of the most challenging days I've had in years. But I went to a beautiful place to experience it instead of isolating myself. Are you overseas? No, I came back to the U.S. I'm back home. Shame, man. Breakup. That was a big part of it. Why do you feel like growth means being socially successful instead of creating good memories? Growth means socially successful instead of good memories. Well, is it not the same thing? You create good memories through successful social connections? It's not a matter of how many people you know, though. It's who you know, and do you feel connected to them? Moss, I read your comment, but there's no question attached to it, so I don't have anything to say about it. How do you deal with negativity and hate from own family members when you're trying to break generational curses? They're not going to change it, so don't expect them to. You just have to create it and change it on your own time with your future family, when you have children, when you have your wife or your husband. But you can start the process now. You just can't expect other people to change with you. Which is more important? Which is more important to you when you're married, your parents or your partner? Your partner. But I don't really like that question. Like, I don't really want to say it's like your parents or your partner are more important. But if you had to choose between the two, I mean, I think your parents would want you to choose your partner. Because that's the life you're creating for yourself, that you chose. But if there's a situation where you have to choose between the two, it's probably not. Something's wrong. Something is wrong. You can achieve economic stability and global recognition, but... True, it's good advice. Glad it resonates. Sorry, not enough. My question is, what are the pros and cons? Should I continue work or get the PhD abroad? Is the PhD going to lead you to your dream job and that you're going to get it? Then go ahead and do it. In the end, what matters is attachment and love and living your truth. I agree with that. Who are you attached to? Who do you care about? What love are you creating in your life? What's your truth? I'm afraid to talk to women. How can I overcome this fear? Maybe you don't feel like you're enough, or maybe you feel like women wouldn't find you attractive, or maybe you've been rejected a few times. All of this is reflective of just a few people, not your life, and not who you actually are. Do you trust yourself? Do you think you're a masculine man that can lead a woman? Do you feel like you are connected to your values? You know what you want? The answer to all those questions are no. Well, that's why an additional reason, because women almost like show you the parts of yourself that you need to hold yourself accountable for. And if you're not ready to be mature and hold accountability or take it, then women most of the time won't be attracted to that. Well, the toxic ones will, but that's not what you want. How old are you? I'm 22. Is it reasonable that I feel afraid that my ex has called 20 times, blocked in voicemails after we broke up? No, I don't think that's unreasonable to feel. And do you think someone can live a good life even without being socially successful? I don't think so, to be honest. But again, socially successful means people that you care about. There's not a number attached to it. But no, I think I think humans are biologically programmed to need people. And to build with them, and to care about them, and to hold space together. I think to live a truly good life, you need connections. Not just connections for the sake of connection, people they see you for who you are. They see your soul. You need that. I realized, over the last few weeks when I went to Europe, I went to 5 countries. I love traveling. It's cool. But I don't like doing it alone. I can do it alone. And I'm comfortable to do it alone. But I don't want to do it alone. And I also don't even want to do it nearly as much as I thought I did. But those conclusions I needed to reach by getting there. What do I value so much more? Community, family, building, businesses, stability. Things I once thought were the enemy of freedom. It wasn't true. Which is a story I told myself. But I needed to see where the story took me. And see how life played out, and then fully have it come to full circle, for example. How can I talk Brad into coaching me one-on-one? I already broke you in. Emily, we got this. We got this. What's the most important thing for you in a relationship? A woman that's truly feminine and connected to herself. She knows what she wants, and that happens to be in alignment with what I want. She's a very deep person, but can also let loose. Do you think logistics is a good idea for someone starting in life? As a career field, if that's what you want to do. I don't know, is that what you want? Some people like it, some people don't. What's the best way to gain self-confidence? Ask yourself, if I were the most confident version of myself tomorrow, what would I be doing and creating? Craft a very small actionable step about that thing that you're going to start to create and do it. What advice about spirituality would you give? I mean, spirituality is very vast. Different religions, different philosophies. It's really personalized depending on where somebody is at. But you are in control of what you do, but you're not really in control of other things. So you experience life as it comes. And you do everything you want to do. And you see how it plays out. Just make sure you develop yourself to a point where you're connected to what you're doing. And life will go your way even if it feels like it's not right now. Sometimes it takes some time. Even if you don't want to wait, patience is a requirement. Can't forget about that. Can't forget. Will fake confidence work the same as real confidence? Great question. Okay, so here's the thing. People say, fake it till you make it, fake the confidence, fake the courage. Here's the thing. If you do something that is confident, but you fake it, you're not actually faking anything. You're just being confident in the moment. You're actually just creating it. So it was created from within. If a woman gives you a true connection, but she's not very feminine, would you end the relationship? No. the relationship would have never started in the first place, because I'm only attracted to feminine women. If I have an intellectual connection with you, but there's no, like, polarity, then I just wouldn't be attracted to her. Do you have any regrets in life so far? All the decisions I made up until this point were because it's what needed to happen up until this point. So I could sit here and say I wish I would have changed things, but if I changed them, then maybe other things wouldn't have happened. So if that's true, then I wouldn't change a damn thing. If me taking this turn or taking this path instead of that one made me not meet this person or not have that experience, fuck it, let me make the mistake 10,000 times over. I'll do it again. You got to see what you value. What is truly valuable that you can't compare to anything else? Like, we talk about relationships. People like, if you were married to someone and they're like, hey, if your wife was going to pass away in 30 days, and there's nothing that you could do about it, but if you decided to, like, just end the 30 days now, but I'd give you $10 million, would you do it? If you love that person, there's no thinking. The answer is no, of course not. I'd spend the 30 days I have. And then people talk about breakups and they say, because it ended. Was it worth it? Is it worth the pain? Is it worth the grief? You know what I sit there and say? I'd do it 500,000 more times. You ever see those movie quotes and those scenes where it's like, there's one with Stan Lee, the guy who I think created Marvel. He's like, yeah, there was this girl, and I missed my chance with her. And, one day I woke up and I was 15 years later and she was married, and whatever the case was. And the ending part was the guy looked at him and he's like, would you give it up for her? He looks at him and he goes, all of it, just to get one more day with her. That's love. Maybe sometimes it's illogical. I think sometimes that's okay. That's something we don't yet fully understand, and that's what makes us human. It's what makes us... That's commitment. That is commitment. Someone asked you to give them a day, and now it's been 3 days since you heard from them. Should we break up? If they needed a day... If they needed a day and it's been 3 days, I wouldn't just break up. I would say, hey, it's been 3 days. Did you still want to have a conversation? Do you listen to Eckhart Tolle? I read his The Power of Now, and I love it. I don't really like listening to him that much, to be honest. He's a little bit boring to listen to lecture. But occasionally I've listened to some of his lectures. How do I stop catching feelings so easily? Don't let your good looks distract you from answering. Well, I appreciate the compliment. Well, you only catch feelings easily if you're disconnected from yourself. What I mean by that is if you catch feelings for somebody you don't even know. If you're starting to talk to somebody and 2 weeks in, you're like, I really feel something for them. Good. That's what you're supposed to be feeling. It's really only when you don't know why you're even attracted to them, and you just are. Where it's like, oh, maybe there's something off here. Should I still chase someone who rejected me? No, because they don't want you. She said I'm not good enough and she doesn't want to come back. That's really hard to hear. But don't try and go back then. How do you personally deal with immature people? I don't try and change them, and I don't try and argue with them. I let them believe whatever they want to believe. I walk away. Or just ask another question, just kind of see where they're at. Okay, cool. That's it. I don't try and I'm not close friends with them. I'm not spend a significant amount of time with them. How do I cut people off? I'm not the type to stay silent. What breaks my mental? Should I tell them why? You should talk to them before cutting them off to see if there's a chance you could actually work through this stuff. I think that's the starting place for this. I was approaching a girl that's really my type. She was open, but her ex suddenly came back again. Okay, and does she want to be with that ex-partner? Or did he just, like, text her? Like, what's the situation? But I know they won't change. If they won't change, then they won't change. Then that's that. But do you know that they won't change, or are you just telling yourself that they won't change? Have you even tried to have the conversation? Because if you haven't and you're just telling yourself they won't change, you don't actually know. You have to give people the opportunity. It's the most mature thing you could do. Have you thought of blank, maybe somewhere along the line? Yeah, when I was like 13 or 14. But I knew it's never what I wanted. Just didn't want to feel pain, anger, misery all the time. And I thought that was the only way. It wasn't. I feel like I know in my head, got a couple points about this. We'll still have a conversation, that way you fully know. It's your best bet. I feel stuck in life and tired, but then I remember I want to become successful. Well, what does success mean to you? What job, what industry, what are you trying to create? Please scroll up and answer me. Throw the question down below again if I didn't see it. Still terrified of conversations and struggle with being abandoned. Well, so because you struggle with being abandoned, you're just going to cut them off without having a conversation. That's you abandoning yourself and trying to abandon them before they abandon you. That's the insecurity running the conversation, not your truth. So you have to have the conversation, even if you're afraid. But nobody actually abandons you. Your paths just don't align anymore. It's not abandonment, even if it feels like it. She told me she wasn't ready to be in a relationship after her ex texted her again. Okay, so you gotta respect that. So she's not ready to be in a relationship. So Brad, in your mind, how do you view other people, just in life in general? I view other people as very complex individuals with a completely different story in life than me. And if I don't agree with them on something, my job isn't really to particularly argue with them, because they might have a very real reason as to why they think that. But I also think at the end of the day, most human beings are the same. We want the same things. We want connection, love, security. We all want the same things. It just looks a little bit different for each person. Why do I keep a wrong person in my life just because I'm afraid to lose them, even though I know they're bad to me? Sad girl, because you're afraid of being alone. You're afraid of being alone with yourself, so you choose to get attention from people, even if it's not positive attention, because it's better than nothing. That's what you might be telling yourself. It's not. You can be okay alone for a certain period of time, not forever, just for a certain period of time, so you can leave room for somebody who's truly right for you to make their way into your life. It's almost abandoned by them, but I begged and kept them. Yeah, if you have to beg somebody to stay, it never works. It's only an invitation. That's it. What do you do when someone spreads dirty secrets that are half true? This person was an ex-best friend. How is this affecting you? Like, are they spreading it to people that you're friends with? You got to give me more clarity there. Do you personally have a religion? I don't claim to be a part of any particular religion at this moment in time. Thank you, I feel better. Glad to hear. Feel free to shoot me a follow. We'd love to see you back in here, WC. Welcome in, everyone. Appreciate the gifts. What if a friend you love just left you in the worst period of time? Oh, that's really tough. That's really tough. Friend left you during what seems like the worst period of time that you're going through. Well, did they leave because of that? And what is the worst time, for example? What is it? What is exactly that you're going through? Because maybe they weren't aware. Maybe it's not personal. Maybe they got their own stuff going on that they don't know how to handle, so they can't hold space for you. Everyone's on their own journey. We always take things personally. It's usually not. We're all trying to make the best decisions for ourselves, and sometimes we don't know what those are. Spreading it to everyone, and it's there's this. I heard about. I saw a video on it today. I think it's called the red string theory. I don't know why it's called that, but it's like this concept that friendships, relationships, romantic, if someone or something in your life is meant to be, no matter how much time is created in between when you knew each other and when you didn't, you will always find your way back to each other. Somewhere, somehow. Is that true for everybody? No. Like, you don't always make your way back to people you used to know. But if it's meant to exist, then maybe it happens. Spreading it to everyone, especially friends of mine, it's like she's trying to make everyone hate me. Well, if someone is saying things to your friends and they believe that and don't have a conversation with you, those aren't your friends. So just have a conversation with your friends. The quality's fire. What are you filming with? My phone. Cut her out of my life. Okay. Feels like nothing excites me anymore after I got dumped. What can I do? Yeah, very common. Feels like your soul is being drained. You have to give yourself space to process the grief. Keep doing the things that you used to enjoy, because that joy will come back. It just won't come back tomorrow. You just have to keep that in mind. And keep building in the process while you're experiencing the pain. When you look at someone who's better than you, who has achieved double the things you're trying to achieve, how do you view them? Me personally, I view them as, this is amazing. How do I ask them questions and figure out how I can do it too? I don't have any envy or jealousy for them. I mean, is there like maybe a very small part of me that's like, oh, like it would be nice if I had that? Sure. But that's not what I focus on. Naturally, it's, hey, how can they help me? How can I help them? Right? Because even if someone's doing better than you and things of that nature, everybody's here to teach somebody something. What is a life coach? Someone who coaches on life. I particularly do these topics that are listed on the screen. Think of it like therapy, but without diagnoses. At the time, I was fighting with someone, and she just doesn't see that they're right, but that's not English. I don't understand that. What do I do if my legs are really hurt that I can't have rest? Have you gone to the doctor or the hospital? I don't know what's wrong. Can I ask for breakup advice? Yes, you can. You can indeed do that. Appreciate people that help others. Thanks, Mark. Try my best. I try my best. Moved away from family to make a better life for myself, but I'm feeling a lot of guilt. Well, if you know that's what is in tune with you, your family will understand, even if they don't now. And you'll have to see how this plays out. But you can still talk to your family, still call them up. Growing up, did you put everyone on a pedestal? If so, how did you reprogram yourself not to? No, I didn't put anyone on a pedestal, because I always thought people were more unhappy than they gave themselves credit for. I looked at most people older than me that were telling me how to be happy, and I could tell that they were miserable. So I didn't really put them on a pedestal. I just kind of felt like the world sucked. But for somebody who is thinking that way, you reprogram yourself not to do that by getting curious about people instead of judgmental. Like, how do they get there? Oh, that's interesting. How can I get there? Like, that's when it becomes productive and connective. We broke up because he treated me bad, used blank, and started surrounding himself with women. Okay. How do you feel right now? Sometimes living alone is better, but I think the eclipse of life to be, I don't know what that means. But I still feel bad, and I miss you. Or you miss him. I mean, yeah, you're allowed to miss somebody even if they did you dirty. And it'll be temporary. But you know that this can't continue. Why do I keep going for a girl that's playing me? And I know she is. Because you enjoy being played. And you feel like that's what you deserve. Even if you don't want to admit it to yourself. That's why you keep putting yourself in a position to do it. You need to find your value, Jason. When you find that, you'll never accept this type of behavior ever again. How to accept things that already happened and move on. Sit with it. Journal about it. Go for a walk and just think about that thing. Hey, this is what happened. It doesn't exist anymore. Like, sit with that. I just wish he cared about the breakup. He just let me go. It's not that he doesn't care at all, it's just that he's disconnected from himself. You can't force that upon him. Is it okay to get rid of social media and what to use only? I mean, you can do whatever you want. Social media has its benefits, it has its drawbacks. Is it benefiting your life more than it's taking away? Then keep using it. But you could, like, I try my best to not scroll on my phone that much. But I still need social media to build my business and to come on and talk to you guys and to do my business, do what I do. So I can't get rid of it. Depends on what you want, what you care about. For you personally, what was the toughest part of trying to find out who you are? I think just being surrounded by so many different people with different beliefs, where it was just like, oh, what do I actually believe? It wasn't until I sat down with that I finally discovered it. Or it revealed itself, I guess you could say, is a better way to put it. So it's not really, I didn't really figure it out, it just kind of revealed itself. It came to me. Yes, Zariah, it's tough. But he's disconnected from himself. How long were you together? And how old are you guys? Welcome in, everyone. 4 months. Okay. If you're that young, yeah, he's just looking to explore his options. He's not taking dating seriously at this point. I didn't have to figure out. I was born with the understanding of everything. Good for you. Good for you. Gotta help me out with that. I don't understand everything. Oh my god. Dude, this is actually insane. Do you think most men cheat? No, I definitely don't think most men cheat. I think more men cheat nowadays than maybe within the last 50 years, but no, I don't think most men cheat. Just like if somebody were to say, do you think most women cheat? My answer would still be no. Do you believe in marriage? I very much do. Just with the right person. Most people choose the wrong person. I was trying to make friends with a girl from school. We were talking for a week and bonding. Are you sure you were trying to be friends with her, or you wanted to be more? There's a difference. There is a difference. How can I move on if I see him around and he'll be surrounding himself with girls? You have to try your best to not see him. And if you do, you'll see her. But you still have to create space for yourself to process all these emotions. Disappeared for 4 days and she blocked me. What do I do to move on? Acknowledge that she doesn't want you. And that's okay. Because not everybody's meant for you. Is it 50-50 in terms of men or women cheating? No, it's not 50-50. I do think the research backs that women cheat a little bit more than men do. But no, it's not 50-50. But I'm not really concerned with do women or men cheat a little bit more. It's why and who are these people. Make sure you don't surround yourself with them. When should intimacy happen when seeing someone new? Great question. Some people say first date. I say, I mean, if we're talking about like that full level of intimacy, a few weeks maybe. That's what I feel. Because I'm trying to get to know somebody's soul before I get to know their body. But it depends. Like if somebody's never slept with someone before and, you know, they want to take their time, take their time. But I think first date is too soon, even if there is a connection. I don't think it's required. Alright. How to get the courage to get on a sport that's not exactly stereotypical? Just start doing it. See how much you enjoy it. Thoughts on religion? I mean, there's many different religions. If it connects somebody deeper to their soul, it's worth it. And if they're doing it just because they're supposed to do it, then maybe they're not doing it for the right reasons. What is ego and why is it hard to get over it? Ego is the part of you that thinks that you're right and that has an identity. And it is not just your awareness, it is the identity you've created for yourself. The ego is hard to let go or get over because you're not supposed to get over your ego. It exists. Pretending it doesn't only leads to more disconnection. It's really just about understanding what are the thoughts that I have in my mind. What if it is based on ego, and what if it is based on truth? Sometimes it's integrated together, and sometimes it's not. How do I want to find the truth in my life? That should be the intentionality. He'll start situationships. So what? Why do you need to know about the situationships particularly? Don't follow him on social media. You don't need to keep yourself in the loop on this stuff. What's the best advice for someone who wants to come back up when they're at their lowest? You only stay low for so long. What are you trying to do to be better? How do I stay motivated with my 3 to 6 month goals? Create goals that are like on a weekly basis that you can feel achieved with as well. If the ego is based on truth, should I follow it? If something is based on truth, follow it, whether that is ego related or not. Follow truth. Thoughts on Abrahamic religions? Is it good for your life or no? I'm not religious at all. If you connect to it, it's good for your life. If you don't connect to it, maybe not. Everybody's different. But I do think it helps a lot of people, absolutely. Thoughts on Atomic Habits? I never read the book. I've heard you read 1 or 2 chapters and it basically repeats itself. Welcome, everyone. If I feel prepared for something and my ego prevents me from working harder and reaching out for help, if you feel prepared for something, just do it anyway. Ask for help. Your ego sometimes keeps you stuck because you want to believe that you're right even when you're not. I have much experience with that. What's your best life advice? What you're looking for just might be right in front of you. Why do you help others so much when you have been through so much yourself? That exact reason. Because I've been through so much myself. I care so much for others. I know what it's like. I've learned a lot from you, Brad. Seriously, thank you. I appreciate you. You explain things very well. Really beneficial. How often do you do these lives? I do the lives 7 days a week. 7 days a week. Let me see this. Oh, whoa. Alright, let's see. I lose interest in everything often. Okay. You lose interest in things often. Are you giving yourself enough time, effort, and energy to actually see it through, to see if you actually connect to it? Why do I get fear of missing out from what my friends have done or activities they've done? Because you feel like you're missing out. Can you start to do that stuff? And sometimes you can do it by yourself. Or start to do it in the future. What would you say to someone who's about to blank? You don't actually want it. Nobody does. That's why people who survive it always say it was the worst decision they could have made or tried to do. How to overcome self-doubt? Well, where are you doubting yourself? Because it's usually the self-doubt is, it's not that you're incapable, it's that you convince yourself you're not capable of it. You keep saying, I can't, or I don't know. Start saying, hey, I'm struggling right now, but I'm figuring it out. I'm capable of this. Just starting there changes your thoughts. That can change your action, too. Why is it hard to think long-term and maybe achieving the fear of missing out thing 5 to 10 years than right now? Can you rephrase that question? Meaning the thing you fear you're missing out on, what if I achieve it in 10 years from now instead of right now? Well, that's life. Patience. You know, who builds anything overnight? What's a solid message to give to the youths around the world? Same thing I said before. What you're looking for is right in front of you. It's always been here. How do I stay confident and ignore people when they act toxic or treat me poorly? Well, how do you stay confident? The confidence is from within, so that's just who you are. If people saying something about you makes you less confident, then were you really that connected to yourself? Um, and the other part is having a conversation with these people to see if they're open to conversation about taking accountability. If not, then you distance yourself from them. Surround yourself with people that actually care. I mean, not comparing my life, the recipe of my life, of what life it should be, and go with my tempo. Well, what should is a very interesting word. What do you mean what your life should be? What do you want your life to be? Not what it should be. What do you desire it to be? That's the only thing that matters. It's the only thing that matters. You're the main character. You always have been. How do I destroy laziness? Well, you're not actually lazy, you're just disconnected. You don't have anything you're passionate about. Find those things. Start to do them. Desires differ from reality, right? Question mark. Do desires differ from reality? Yes and no. What you desire, you can make a reality, depending on what it is. Maybe cringe, but what do you think about fake it till you make it? Yeah, similar to what I said before. When you fake it till you make it, you're not actually faking anything. You're just doing it. If you try to fake courage and do something courageous, you're just being courageous. You're not faking anything. Yeah, but I feel like there's always an objective way of doing things than what I think is correct. Is there? Are you sure there's an objective way of doing things? I don't think there is. Everybody's path is different, and they arrive at their destination completely differently than somebody else. The journey was completely different. If you fake something long enough, does it become real? It depends what it is. It's very situational. Advice on how to make a sustainable income. I mean, you gotta find something you actually care about. I mean, how old are you? What can you say about blank? Um, it usually doesn't benefit people that much. If you want to do it once in a while on a social occasion, do whatever you want, but consistently isn't going to help your life. Are hookups on vacation a bad thing? You do whatever you want. I just, I gave up hooking up with people like 4 years ago. But if you want to do it, you do it. Doesn't mean anything to you, doesn't mean anything to you. I don't think casual sex really exists. I think it's all very deep. Advice on how to become more confident in front of a girl. You don't become more confident in front of a girl. You are confident, and then you are that way in front of people, whether it's a girl or a guy. Yeah, like if they've traveled before and they're 30, doesn't mean I'm failed if I don't do it before 30. No, that's just a limiting belief. Certain people get married at 20 years old. Other people get married at 40 years old. Does that mean that the 40-year-old failed? Or did they just want to get married at that point? They were just different than the 20-year-old. That's it. Different. Not wrong. What do I do if my boyfriend doesn't take care of the baby we're going to have? Well, then you're cooked. So does he want to take care of your child? I don't know. What's the situation here? When you were going through the bad times, was your sleeping schedule messed up? How did you recover from it? I don't even remember. I mean, I definitely think I didn't get enough sleep. But I eventually recovered from it when I actually worked on myself, and then I was draining my energy in a positive way, that I was relaxed by the end of the day and I was able to sleep. You're cooked, no sugarcoating. Well, I'm saying you're cooked. Yeah, I mean, if there's no if your partner doesn't want to take care of the baby, then your relationship is cooked. But I need some more details about it. How do you build confidence and self-esteem? By doing the things that you say you want to do and actually doing them, instead of saying you're going to do them and then waiting another year. Do you think money defines people and opportunities? I think money helps with certain opportunities, but it does not define people. Money is an expression of people. Money is a tool for people. It is not a person. Yeah, of course, Callum. No, he says the baby is my problem because it's my fault I got pregnant. It sounds like this is not a good relationship. Emmy, shoot me a follow and a DM about this. How long have you guys been together? Does he want a child with you? Doesn't really sound like it. Do you think money buys happiness? I don't think money buys happiness, but in some way, shape, or form, money doesn't buy happiness entirely. It buys aspects of it. Like, you need a certain amount of money to live the lifestyle you want to live that makes you feel content and fulfilled, yes. But, for example, money does not buy love. Money has nothing to do with love. So, if you're going to sit here and say money buys happiness, well, it doesn't buy love, and love is one of the most transformational, connective experiences a human being could have. So money buys aspects of happiness, but not all of it. If I start to do something new or a hobby, does it mean I do it for people's attention or because I like doing it? I don't know. That's up to you. Are you doing it because that's a question? You just asked me a question that you need to ask yourself. Am I starting a new hobby because I'm doing it for somebody else or for me? I don't know. Would you do the hobby if nobody knew that you did the hobby? Then you're connected to it. But if you only want to do the hobby if people know that you do it, well, then it's for them. Should I study for my finals? If you want to pass them, then yeah, probably. How to know if you're behind in life when you're aged 18 to 25 and everyone around you is doing better things? Not everybody's doing better things, they're doing different things. Because there's a lot of people 18 to 25 that are doing absolutely nothing with their life. Health is wealth. The question is, you're 18 to 25, what are you doing? Are you sitting there thinking and sitting not working and playing video games all day and then asking yourself, oh my god, why do I feel behind in life? Or are you doing everything in your power to be the best version of yourself and feeling this way? Because those are two different conversations. Feel free to shoot me a follow. I'd love to see you back in here. How do you feel by managing to help people in the comments live better lives? I don't know if I understand that. Could you rephrase that question? Money can help you have more experiences, absolutely. If you're a billionaire and someone hands me $1 million, would you be happier? And the answer is no. You might be a little bit happier, but is it going to get you love, for example? No. Do what you want to do. Do what you say you want to do is hard because it means facing your low self-esteem. If that's what it's requiring you to face, well then maybe you'll have a more positive self-esteem if you face it. Someone said, am I good enough? Of course you are. What if I want to be in the top 0.1% and need everything up to par and just not be normal? Are you sure that's what you actually want, or it's just what you're convincing yourself you want? Because most people who say they want to be a millionaire, you don't actually want to be a millionaire. Because of the amount of, what you have to manage and how you have to live that experience every day. You'd probably be good with $200,000 a year. I'm not saying stray away from that if that's your goal, but for example, you want to be the top 0% of people when it comes to your income, I don't think you actually do. And I'll tell you exactly why. You wouldn't be on this TikTok live right now. If you were that serious about being the top 0.1% of people on planet Earth, you'd be literally experimenting 24/7 of your life. You wouldn't be asking anyone any questions. You'd just be doing things. I don't think that's what you want. Do you want to be better and more financially well off than most people? Probably, because most people are not financially well off at all. But that doesn't mean you want to be top 0.1%. Difference between therapy and life coaching. I'm not in the medical industry. I don't deal with diagnoses. I help everyday people transform their lives. Do you do any other side hustles besides life coaching? No, I just have two main businesses. It's this, and then I run a marketing agency with my brother. Yeah, I'm 20 doing nothing with my life. Literally nothing. Okay, so first thing is, what do you want to start to do? Been struggling with procrastination. How do I fix this? Make sure the thing you're trying to do is something you actually connect to. And if it's not something you connect to, find a way to make it fun. Put on some calming music in the background of studying. Whatever the case is, you got to find a way to make it connective. Is it advisable to continue a relationship where he or she can never get over the other's past mistakes? No, that's an impossibility. If they are unwilling to get over the past mistakes, then you can't forgive each other, then you're not going to be with each other long term, because you're going to make mistakes and you need to be able to forgive each other. If you can't do that, or they don't even desire to do that, it doesn't work. D4D, don't forget to reach out to a mental health professional if that's where you're at. My friend got dumped. Is it normal? I didn't know how to comfort him. I'm a really empathetic guy, but I mean, if you don't know how to comfort him, that's okay. Just say, hey, look, I'm here if you need me. Why is it that humans forget that someone has it worse than us versus always competing with the top people? Because you're always comparing yourself to people better than you, because why would you compare yourself to somebody worse than you? You don't want to be them. You're comparing yourself to people that you want to be, or at least that you think you want to be. But what if I want to get more outside opinions to see if things are right? Somebody who's going to be in the top 0.1% is just going to be doing things. They're not asking people for their opinions. They don't care what someone's opinion is. They're just building what they need to build. But yeah, again, my opinion is I don't think that's what you want. I'm not saying destroy your dreams. I'm just saying that might not be that exact thing. Why is it that when I start doing something, I crave attention or validation? Is it fixable? No, that's not something you don't fix yourself. You don't fix wanting attention or validation. I want attention and validation. I'm human. I want attention and validation. So do you. Don't try and fix that. That's literally going against your soul. Do not try and fix that. There's nothing to fix there. All it is about integrating it properly. Do things that you connect to, and in that process, there will be other people that connect to that. It'll lead to the connection. Cannot force it. Cannot. Can you elaborate on isolation is dangerous? I find myself more productive when I'm alone. Yeah, so isolation is different than being alone. I like being alone at points, but being alone and isolating yourself is different. Isolating yourself is like, hey, I'm not talking to anyone for 6 months because like I don't want to talk to anyone. Being alone is, yeah, I'm gonna take a week to myself because like I'm really struggling here and I'm gonna give myself some space. So yeah, like being alone is productive at times, and then sometimes it's productive to be with other people. Isolation is dangerous because when you isolate yourself for too long. So, right. Advice for parents. Every single thing that you do in front of your child, they will witness and they will download as a program in the back of their mind unconsciously and play out in their life. Everything you say, everything you do, they're downloading all the information. Are you doing things and saying things that you feel like they actually connect to? Is looks maxing healthy? Maximizing your looks when it comes to getting in the gym and focusing on your physique and becoming healthier, yes. Looks maxing when it comes to like the current online trends, no, absolutely not. Is it okay to have no friends? Temporarily, yes. I've gained 20 pounds in 2.5 weeks, been binging every day, have no motivation. Okay, has there been a significant change in your life, or grief, or loss, or in a crazy amount of pain? So that might contribute to that. I don't talk about politics here. It's the only topic we don't talk about. I feel like I've sinned, but my friends know it, and I feel bad about it. How to get over it? Change your behavior. Become a better person. I'm jealous when I go to the beach and see other guys with muscles, but I'm thin. Okay, so you're jealous when you see other people, but are you in the gym? Are you focusing on are you doing things to improve your physical health? If the answer is no, and you're feeling jealous, of course, they're working hard and you're not. If you go in the gym consistently 5 days a week and you're still feeling that way, that's different. How can I let go of her? It's been 4 months. You have to keep feeling the emotions. But why'd you guys separate? I'm not particularly religious, but I believe in God, just not in the traditional sense. You know what's really interesting? I find a lot of us like pretend we're okay when we're not. I've never been able to do that. I've never been able to pretend I'm okay when I'm not. Can I like maybe not show it at certain points, but like if I'm really not, like, people know. And then I realized like how sensitive of a person I was. But only certain people recognize that. Only certain people see it. How do you stay strong in believing in your own idea of something when people convince you otherwise? Their life is not your life. They're allowed to have a differing opinion. But if it connects you to you, it's your truth. It doesn't have to be the same as everybody else's. Can't fake my emotions, just living them. Yep. Yep. Like I'm just saying it for myself. Like I can compartmentalize my emotions a little bit. Like, okay, I'm not gonna feel this right now. Like right now on this live, I'm like about to bawl my eyes out. But it's not like it's going to happen. It's just like it could. So be able to express that when we're off of here. Due to me being immature, but I changed and rebuilt myself. Okay, that's good. Are you able to have a conversation with her or no? Why do we not like other people and project our own feelings? So we don't have to take accountability? Do some jobs require people with blank personality? I don't know what I don't know what that means. The thing is, I've struggled with body image my whole life, and I've been thin. Still. Have you been in the gym? Have you been eating more? Any financial tips? I don't know. What are you trying to... What about finances? I'm not a financial advisor, but I could give you something personal depending on what it is. How to control my emotions? You don't control the emotions. You give them space when they come up, when it's called for. Trying to control it is disconnecting you from your own experience, from your truth. Like, I'm sad right now. I'm really sad. I'm not trying to control that. I'm not trying to convince myself I can't be sad. I'm just sad. I try, but honestly, sometimes eating more doesn't even cross my mind. So, put it in your calendar. Make it cross your mind. Put things in place. How to help with blank addiction slowly. Definitely talking to women in reality helps. Getting more connected to yourself. Accountability and accountability, like having someone hold you accountable. And like when you have urges to talk to them about it, like someone like me, for example, like that always helps, or a friend. How to know when to leave a girl I've been with for 8 months. I don't know. Why do you feel like leaving her? So I'm scared. If I'm scared, I just feel it, and it'll automatically go away. And no, it doesn't. It doesn't mean the feeling automatically goes away if you feel it. It just means that you do process it a little bit more, and it's most likely not as strong. But then it may come back a few days later. It depends on what it is. No, it doesn't guarantee it goes away, but it gives you an opportunity for it to possibly. I think that's worth trying. I feel like we're always in our learning curves, and we're both vulnerable with each other. That's good. Sounds positive. Can people change? Yes. But people change on their own timeline. People change when they want to, or when life forces them to, or when there's a certain circumstance that comes up. Yeah, people could change, but it depends on what you mean by change. Is their entire personality going to be 100% different? No. But certain behavior and values, yeah, those could definitely change. Why does sad music feel good? Because you feel not alone in the sadness, and somebody else is sharing it with you. That artist, and then the instruments and everything coming together. We're going to college soon, 2 hours away, so it'll be the biggest test. That it will be. That'll be a big test. How committed are you guys to each other? Oh, Callow, I appreciate it. I'm working through it. Like, I got my own coaches and stuff, but nothing I can't get through. How should the relationship stay alive during that time? Vast amount of communication, making sure you're FaceTiming each other effectively, and intentional time to see each other, even if you're 2 hours away. You need to make sure that happens. Is it common for people to change? Yes and no. Depends on the person. I wouldn't say it's the most common. A lot of people don't change, but doesn't mean that the particular person you're thinking about or talking to won't. Do you personally have a girlfriend at this exact moment? No. Is it okay to not have any relationships temporarily? I'm scared of doing the lock-in and can't back out now. Doing the lock-in. Was that something that we talked about? I'm trying to remember. Have you approached any girls recently? No, I am not in a... Well, actually, yeah. Yeah, I have. But I'm not in a place for, like, a relationship or anything like that. So I'm not trying to establish any romantic connections. Should I distance myself from brainwashed family members? Yeah, or just don't talk to them about those certain topics. No, I was too nervous to talk then. I was trying not to... Oh, you talked, though. No, I'm not from Norway. What kind of coach are you? It says right there. This is what we dive into. Why is my guy friend avoiding me? All of a sudden, he liked me before and we stayed good friends after. Because if he likes you, then he doesn't want to be friends with you. So he's probably giving up on your friendship that doesn't even exist. If somebody wants something more with you, it's not a friendship. How do I make money? Through life coaching. And through the other business that I have with my brother. Am I ever going to get a new boyfriend after my last romantic disaster? Yeah. Just might not be this exact moment. Am I supposed to feel these feelings forever? She moved on in a week and it broke me. She didn't move on in a week. Nobody moves on in a week. She can pretend that she did. Nobody moves on in a week. You're not going to feel the feelings forever. It's temporary. 5, 6, 8, yes. Does this release stress for you or create more? This releases stress for me. Most of the time. Just depends on where I'm at emotionally. Like where I'm at emotionally now, like it's not going to change anything for me. I'm just riding it out. But yeah, most of the time this really, like, I just enjoy helping people. I appreciate it. 5, 6, 8. Very, very interesting situation. Very interesting. I should choose a major that I like or the one that's going to make me rich? Well, could you choose the major that you like and it could also make you money? How can I get over speaking to people, having a problem with keeping conversation rolling, asking curious questions that you actually want to know the answer to instead of just trying to fill the dead space with things for the sake of saying them? Take the conversation deep. Where'd you get the chain? It's from my dad. gave it to me years ago, so I don't know where he got it. How are you using your coaching to living my life, processing the pain, crying, grieving, doing everything I have to do while still building. See, when I sit with sadness, I ruminate, and therefore I never get anywhere. No, you're sitting with sadness, and you're sitting with the thoughts. Take a journal out. Go for a walk. You don't have to sit in your room and process it. Like, I was at a park a month ago. I processed my pain in the middle of a busy park. Bawled my eyes out there. Go to a beautiful place and process your pain. Should I fear men? No. You should be cautious and self-aware, because there are bad men out there, but it's not men in general. How do you not let social media influence you? Social media is going to influence you to a certain degree. You got to ask yourself, what do I actually believe versus the things that people are trying to convince me of? Do you have any tips for healing from that relationship? You have to feel all of the pain. All of it. You can't run away from it. It's an impossibility. It always comes back. And with time and effort and energy, it heals. It doesn't hurt as bad. And you learn. Lessons come up. There is no end and there's no beginning. The universe is infinite and there's only one true God. Okay? I feel like the new Brad is much more slower than the one 6 months ago. Have you noticed? No, actually. Well, I've definitely I will say the version of me the last month and a half to 2 months has most definitely been slower. So I could kind of see that, but like, yeah, I know I'm definitely slower recently. Trying to be more intentional with what I say, not that I wasn't before, but taking a little bit more time to process. And I'm also simultaneously dealing with a lot in my life over the last month and a half. So it's like, as I'm giving advice and as I'm working, I'm still literally processing things in real time. So I'm a little bit slower. How long should the pain last? It's been 7 months. Sometimes it's another few months. Sometimes it's another year. The question is, are you actually feeling it? And are you asking yourself what it's trying to teach you? Yeah, 568. I haven't lost my spark, but I'm definitely like, yeah, lower energy for sure. Usually snappy and to the point. Yeah, well, when you're sad, you're not as snappy. So. Oh, man. Does this mean everyone is the same energy? The 18-year-old and 50-year-old operate the same way, just in a different body? I don't know what you mean by that. Is everyone the same energy? I'm not sure exactly what you mean. How long does grief from a breakup last? Oh, it's completely different for everyone. Some people it's 6 months. Some people it's a year. Some people it's 2 years. You know, I honestly think grief from breakups, maybe like your relationships where you're like 16 and stuff like that, it doesn't, you know, you don't really, like my first girlfriend, I don't really think about her ever. But I'm not really convinced you ever fully forget about people. Like somebody that you felt so close in connection with for such an extended period of time, you don't 100% move on. You get far down the line, but They'll always cross your mind once in a while. So in some ways, the grief lasts forever. But it doesn't. You don't. It's just thoughts come up sometimes. 50-year-old has an 18-year-old mindset. It's possible. It's gonna sound weird, but I kind of feel comfort knowing I'm not alone in my breakup recovery. No, it doesn't sound weird at all. We like to know that other people. We're not the only one struggling. Is there an 18-year-old and 50-year-old the same within, having the same exact feelings just in a different body? Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it might not be the exact same 100%, but pretty similar for sure. Like, processing grief is... An 18-year-old and 50-year-old may go about it differently, but they're still processing it. Sky Princess says breakups are absolutely horrible. I gotta agree with you on that one. Should definitely continue. It's the only way forward. What happens when you pass away? 'Cause it's crazy having consciousness. I don't know. Who knows what happens? It's taken me longer to recover because I kept letting him back in for 4 years. Yeah. Created more space for it. Why is it hard to control emotions when meeting past triggers or people? Because they've been existing for a long time and you push them down and now they're coming back up. But I feel like my friends are fake. Maybe they are. Or maybe you're just not expressing yourself and giving them an opportunity to show that you guys could be connected. Do you believe that you're only supposed to have one true love in life? It's a good question. I think we can love multiple people. I think you could be happy with multiple people. But is there like one person that's like would make you more happy than other people? Yeah, but it's not really any way to know that. What to do if they don't take no contact seriously? Well, then they're not taking you seriously. They're not respecting you. What are you going like no contact and maybe talk in the future? Or it's like, hey, we broke up, I don't want to talk to you ever again. What stops someone meeting in the same city versus a different country being in love? What stops someone meeting in the same city versus... I don't know what you mean by stops someone. How am I doing mentally? Good. Aside from certain things I'm processing and dealing with, that I'm not doing good with. Well, doing the best I can with it. Why do most older people in their 50s look down on younger people? Because they never matured, even if they're 60 years old. They never found their purpose or their calling or connection. So they envy people that they're younger. I broke up with him and I don't want any contact. So have you told him that? I don't plan on ever talking to you again. My Latin professor told me we get one, maybe two if we're lucky. Yeah, I mean, like, finding somebody else that made you feel that connected to someone, I mean, but sometimes your comparison is like, you think, oh my god, I was so in love, and like you actually weren't. But like if you know you were in love, it's like, yeah, like I mean, I'm thinking about my last relationship, and I'm like, if we never got back together, will I find somebody else? Yeah. But I don't know how she'll be as good as that. I don't know. Like if you only have one person for your life, how do you know if the person you meet is right? Because you're so connected to them, day in, day out. You don't want to be with anyone else. You don't need any other explanation other than that. He's calling and leaving messages. That would be the part where you block him. Why during the first part of a breakup you think you can't find anyone better? Because you're still attached to them. And you're not fully soaking into why you separated, for example. What if you feel the same way with the person you meet from far away versus the same city? Well, then if you're meeting someone from far away, you have to eventually find a way and come up with a plan so that you will live near each other or with each other. Can't be long distance forever. It's very challenging. Raj, thanks for the gift. Appreciate you. Moving on pretty well from my ex. I don't even think about her like I did at first. It's good. Really like someone that doesn't know me and I'm very attached. That I cry. What do I do? You're attached to the idea of somebody, not them. You need to start living in reality. You don't like him. You just find him physically attractive. And you're creating stories in your head of who he is. You don't know who he is. Start a conversation. Take it from there. What can you do when you lose feelings for someone but you don't want to? Your body is telling you what needs to happen. How did you find out you were capable of your career? I started doing it. Figured it out as I went. How can I make money without working my life away? Well, you're gonna have to work consistently. That's life. But you have to enjoy what you're doing. And it doesn't feel like you're working your life away. Are friends setting me up with a good girl? A girl good idea, or should I just find it? I mean, if your friends are setting you up, you might as well have a conversation, see how it goes. You can do both. How do I know when to keep trying and when to let go? Well, if it's in a relationship context, you stop trying when you're both not on the same page and people don't want to try. Of a personal thing that you're pursuing, you keep trying if you know it's in tune with your soul, and you let go when it's not. Like working 40 to 60 hours a week, I mean, if you're to not work 40, 60 hours a week, you're going to have to probably work a lot more than that per week for years to then free up your time later. It's usually how people in the business realm do it. I get detached from a person that doesn't see as I see them. Spend less time with them? I don't know what the context is here. You got to give me that. Same advice you would give to a 20-year-old, is it the same you give to a 50-year-old? Yeah. Well, the same way I give advice, I'd phrase things differently. Like with my clients, I don't talk to a 20-year-old the same way I talk to a 50-year-old. But it depends on what we're talking about. So it's completely dependent on the person itself. How can you convince your husband that you will change if he's being so distant? You don't convince him that you'll change, you show him that you'll change. That's it. How can I forget the person I like or love? You don't love them. You don't even know them. Start having a conversation, like I said. Why do I get attached to people I'm not even dating? Because you create stories in your head about who they are rather than seeing who they actually are. How do I move on when no answer was given, know why she broke up, why she stopped caring? That's all the answer you need. She's disconnected from herself and can't even communicate with you. That's not a long-term relationship that could have ever lasted, no matter what the reason is. If I see his true self, I wouldn't like him, right? I'm not saying that. How would I know if you saw his true self, you wouldn't like him? You have to see his true self to know if you'd like him. Don't attach an expectation to it. Why do people idealize people instead of talking to the person, becoming friends? Because they're selfish and they're disconnected. They'd rather talk bad about somebody than actually look at reality. They're not curious. They're judgmental. Suppose 1 to 2 hours is the max. What do you do after that? Just be lonely until you pass away. No. You keep finding love as best as you can. Because that's people's... Who cares what number somebody else says? What do I want in my life? I'm going to go after and get it. Not attach some philosophical explanation to it that's not benefiting my life. How do I start to understand myself? I feel like I don't even know myself now. What do I value? What do I want to build? What do I want to create? What do I care about? Those are the first few questions to ask yourself. Feel behind. I see these 18 to 21-year-olds making 10 to 20K a month online. Yeah, you see 18 to 21-year-olds making that online, but you don't see that many of them, even if you think you do. It's a very small cohort of people. The idealization is good or overhyping, doesn't it? Out high expectations on the person. You gotta rephrase that. Why does it feel like I'm not the same person because I was before the relationship? It's because you're not. Relationships change you. You change as a person. You're not the same person. Don't expect yourself to be. I was with my ex for 4 years, final year 10 months. We were on and off. First love. Okay, do you have a question? Do you have non-negotiables? Yeah. Somebody who's feminine, connected to themselves. I mean, friendships, romantic relationships, what are we talking about? How do I stop smoking? Good question, Derek. Where are you disconnected from yourself? Where are you not processing the pain and you're using that as a coping mechanism? What are you not paying attention to? Instead, you're paying attention to that. And if you're trying to figure out what that is, feel free to shoot me a follow, shoot me a DM. Do you solve people's dilemmas? I help people solve it themselves. I don't do anything. I just give people the gateway for it. I can't force anyone to do anything. Idealization or overhyping, doesn't it put higher expectations on the person being hyped and destroy it? Yeah, idealizing people and pretending that they're perfect and have zero things that they're struggling with is usually a poor way to go about your relationships. But if those high expectations are standards that you have both agreed upon, that's a different story. Uncommunicated expectations are usually destructive ones. How are you so confident when answering these questions? Been doing it for a long time. And I've been coaching for a long time. I've been researching for a long time. I've been experimenting for a long time. It's the center of my life. You too. Have a blessed and wonderful day. Alright, everybody. We have been on here for 2 hours. I'm going to head off. I got some pain to process and some more work to do. Feel free to shoot me a follow. If you're new here, we go live 7 days a week. So if you want to see my face again, feel free to shoot me a follow. I'd love to see you guys back in here. I'll see you very soon, which is tomorrow. And I appreciate you guys very much. There's a new thing I'm starting right before you guys head out. If you click on my profile, under the section where it says reviews, like if you just click on my TikTok profile, if you scroll over next to where it says live, there should be like a group chat that says like the Mighty Tribe or something like that. I don't know what the label is. Essentially, I'm creating a group chat on here where you guys who are committed to self-growth can join there. There's going to be some group calls and stuff like that. So if you could find that on my profile, I don't think there's a way for me to put it on here. So if you click on my profile where it says Mighty Brad and you scroll over, there should be a section that says like group chat or something like that, or the Mighty Tribe. You guys could just request to join and I can let you in. And it's going to be a group chat on TikTok where we can all talk together. Not just so we could talk off of lives and still communicate with each other, help you guys out. You guys could help each other. So I want to create a community there. So if you don't know how to join it, you can't find it, just shoot me a DM. I could send you over an invite. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Once again, feel free to shoot me a follow if you want to see my face again. We dive into self-growth, dating, relationships, spirituality, 7 days a week. helping you guys transform your lives. So once again, I appreciate your presence very much. What time did it's different. Weekdays I usually start in the evenings, and weekends usually around this time or a little bit earlier. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. See you soon.